Welcome to its first tutorial episode. Before you can start, I want to show you the basics gliding through these train stations, bus stops, airports, and ship docks. Remember, OpenTTD is a free open source version of Transport Tycoon Deluxe. You can go to opentdd.org website, download this linked below. If you have already downloaded, you can install the game as right now. So, let's start a new game. As you can see, this is the world generation. You can see the map size because it's 256 squared, and the line generation is Terra Genesis. So the starting date is 2022, where the year comes in real life. Smoothness, smooth rivers, medium town names, additional English, and the map edges is pretty manual. Number of towns 20, number of industries normal, terrain type flat, variety distributions and sea levels are very low, and so on. And that's all. So let's jar things to with. So let's start the new ones. So click generate right now to start a map generation. As you can see, we're in this game for right now. So there are 20 towns on this part, showing through the scenes below. So before you can start, I need to repay some of the loans. So let's make it 50. I don't want to borrow anymore. So check the company. So let's make it should be loaded as once as well. If you see anything such as a boy getting through this one, and yeah, probably as things in below, should be all of these ones. Check the following. So the steam engine should be brown, which is basically than the tutorial. Diesel green. Also the freight car green. Electric defaults. Monorail, can you give me orange? And the last thing will be maglev trains, because will you ever see what happens? Anything which should be used for. And EMU is uh, purple. DMU should be yellow. The bus should be yellow as you want. The truck is red. Red trucks are completely. Passenger ship is red and the freight ship is green. Helicopter should be cream, uh, purple, and red. And the large aircraft should be red. And this is the color scheme. So the president name should be, oh yeah, to be used for this channel. So let's make it, yeah, Schumberg Transport. This is the end of company information settings. So let's go to the map and look for something with the coal mines and power plants. First stop is the train station, which is basically the tutorial and probably how it looks. First, you need to find a something which is good for you and for me. First, you need to do is to buy a railroad system, because this one happens to know about. So, so let's make a train. Please make sure this is the 1.5 sequential. And 1.5 sequential should be put it right over here. Do not forget to turn on the coverage area highlight. This will not work at all. So let's put it right over here. And this one right over here. As you can say, this will provide a lot of singularities and conclusions, which is not the only thing we'll never know. There are there are two train stations on the side from Tunley to Great Ren Bridge, and usually how it says and how it looks. So let's make things right, and usually goes to things what to do as well. So let's make it I don't realize how this happens. If there's any mistakes, press escape to cancel. And there you go. So the question is, why should be persistencing? And you show how it looks and then how it works. So the first thing is to find a coal power station. Going to this station, as it should be 120. So buy a new vehicle. New vehicle. If any old vehicles, hide this vehicle if you don't want to use anymore. So plus racing things right here. Let's move it to right here. So let's make it, let's buy a new vehicle which is called SH8P, which is not enough. So I don't realize how this happens going this right now. So let's buy a coal hopper. Let's make it 5 meters of trains. So let's go from there to until this one. Do not forget to maintain this vehicle, which is corrupted right now. So you have to full load all of the cargo, at least one of these things, then unload and leave empty. Then go to the timetable, set it to no. It's fully loaded because what happens right now. So let's make it 100. 100 is the limit. 100 is the limitations for doing something right now. So let's make it 4 or something, 3, and maintain this vehicle. So let's make it something else with, or probably it takes a while ago. So this is train number 1. Let's make it SHD. No bad words allowed. Let's make it S. Let me check the company it sells us below. SDS, SBT, and or something, SBT 001. The maximum trains per company is 240, and it should be easier than the other side. So let's move on to these forest ones ends. Here, and here's the location, which is seriously not implemented as all. So let's start sipping a new game. Will you ever want to know about this invigorated vehicles nearby old sequential stations? So let's put a sign. Do not forget a sign which is a coal. Let me think. Mining path. Do not forget a sign which is mining path right here. It should be on the center. So it should be as the first segment of this tutorial. As you can see, this will be the 2-year time lapse, and the music will go normally and the video will go faster and faster. So don't go away. We'll be right back. So 2 years, the first train has a lot of income. So let's check the train besides it. So we got a lot of money from the last year. It costs 4 million. Then the other side. On the first thing, I should repay to a full money, full loan. So let's make sure doesn't want to make a loan interest. So let's resume. Otherwise, the first train has a lot of income. So let's add another station, which is advanced or intermediate. Well, that is more synchronized as useful, and usually goes no on the other side than the perfect order. And for the first thing is you should happen as well as you get all of this income. Okay, that's not the right thing you want to know. You want to miss everything it was. So so some of the lines should be the first line going to the side to side and not from side to side. Let's make a sum as 4. Sum of 4 is the first train unit miss, and okay, you can't build sickness here right here. Let's set it to 8. 8 is the maximum possible in their time to get it through. Uh, let's make it 8 as well. Oh, there you go. This one. Let's talk about signals. Signals has pathways and conversions. Conversions getting through this part. This part, let's add a second train. Let's fast forward it first. You don't want to miss the second train. Uh, we're going to the wrong side eventually. So let's move on. How many breakdowns have the last maintenance going through the most of this? So the production last month is 120 tons of coal. And so let's display this chain. For the most of the time, it's time to check the cargo payment rates. So let's start with passengers, mail, coal goods, then valuables. Not quite as good. Passengers is good, coal is much good, sis, and the valuables are bad itself. So let's add another train, which is estimatedly costs 2 million. And I don't have any money of this. If you want to add a group, let's check the some of the vehicles which is related to you, and let's add a group. Let's add a new group going to this part. So let's add a new group and rename a group and nothing else. So the selected group should be anything of the descendants. So check the company scheme. Should be steamless. So in otherwise, I don't have much time for this truthful outfit, outskirting and out sequential. Alright. Moving on to the bus stops. You can see there are 2 of the following towns. It's in Stable Park and going from this side, which is basically the other contribution. So let's check the map. There are 2 of these towns. So let's add a road. That's a bus. So you're gonna see anything what happens. So drag a road in one click. If there's any mistake, press the escape button to cancel. If there's any mistakes. If mistakenly happens, let's get to the smooth part of it. So yeah, let's add a bus between 2 of these stations going from there and there. This might gonna take a long time. So let's add a bus bus stations right here. So let's add a new vehicle. Uh, buy a new vehicle. What do you want to start? New vehicle. Uh, let me think. So there are 40 passengers. You need more passengers on the other side. 152 and 4 on the maximum tractive effort. Okay, it's the end of the year. I should not have borrowed anymore right now because advanced road layouts should be intermediately possible. Getting through this thing here. Let's use the Foster bus. Foster bus is the most cheapest in 2008. It's coming from this side of the stations. Then maintain. Do not forget to maintain. Going from Farnborough and Godberg. Also Godberg, nice. So let's make it seamless. SBT2. Uh, you change the name first. That is not right. 0001. Let's make it 0001. Then let's set it to 4 days here and 4 days for this one. So let's make it 50. 50 is the maximum time for what else? So this is 50 once, and so let's change the vehicle. Change the vehicle name to SBT 241. When you check the settings, you can see the advanced settings or expert settings. Let's make it. You can see the maximum. You can see the maximum number of trains per company is 240. All of these are 240. So right click, no other than yourself. Let's take through this part. Uh, so let's add. So let's start a new vehicle. So this is the first vehicle. On the right click in the vehicle for information. Anyways, this is the first vehicle running on 50 kilometers per hour, and the first bus arrives at Farnborough. Then speed this thing up. Then let's add another. Let's add another vehicle, which is mostly done. So and start. And the next thing is to put a single mail over here, and usually it takes a very long time to say. So let's let's buy another one. So let's make it Reynard. Uh, Let me think what it says. So let's make it SBT 243, I guess. So let's add a new vehicle. Share the contiguous orders, which is okay. You cannot share the order list because of the road vehicle because they didn't match the following. This is boss. So make sure to have how this happens. Make sure it's 50 and over, and usually it takes. So yeah, what is possible in the other side means get through this side and this side. And the first truck arrives at Fonbor. Go to the side and usually goes to the side. So let's make it surely happens. And let's add another vehicle to make us good. So the question is, why is the road vehicle frequently arrives? And there are two of these following towns, which is basically the other side. And usually goes to the side. So let's add another ones, which is mostly done the other side. So move on to the transparency is by clicking the Control X. Then this one. There are two of these stops in one single station. Then let's add another ones. And do not forget to put the arrangements of the station costs nearby. And usually goes to the side, to side, and to side. So arrangements for them starts. So go to the other side, and usually goes realistic. And go to the... Oh, why are you running 1 day late here? Let's set to 5 days. 5 days is more possible. Do not forget to autofill and go to rent bridge and stay for 5 days. There are 50 of the following days. Surprisingly, change the speed limit to 70. 70 is the maximum possible time. Getting all of these increases time limits. Out of this part, it's not going to be into less. Okay, we're gonna need more cash to do that. So, you can more money. I just want to make sure this will happen if you get all of this bus stops, and usually how it takes. So let's move on to the train station right here. It needs more increases money. So the simulation costs more than the other side. So let's move on. You're gonna go to... Okay, stop. So let's move on to... Yeah, Foreignburg. Where almost 70 days inside. So Foreignburg, and yeah, near questions getting our for most of the time. At least one thing you ever want to... Oh, still no orders. So let's go to the side. Going from Brandenburg. Usually it takes over right over here. So let's go back all of the... You must send to the bow. I don't realize how this happens. It should be waiting on the depot. Let's add the ones. Oh god. Need more money. Unless they want to know like all things. So it's 2026. For example, fewer things possible as well. So not all vehicles going to side to side to the side. Uh, let's go back to the side. Remember, this is not the side going to the side. So let's add it again. Right again and right again. And for the most of the time, this requires firm row. Let's see, the side gets through this thing out of it and go back to the side. Go back to each most of the following stations. Basically, relatively, it cuts off on a short segment, which is not eventually goes from here to here. Oh god. Okay, you will even say stop. We will wait for another work from the station. Lets you you know, and work of the following must be single atrocious stations. Not realize how this happens and get the job done. Always should be the truck arrives at this point, and should be at this point. Will realize this happened. So there are 8 of the following stations, which is basically related to their work. And let's move on to this station. Uh, do you realize how this happens? Going from Fleetwood side and to side, going arm in arm and get to friend, and getting side by side. So let's add another train and join a station, which is Farnborough. It all takes usually as then. So let's make sure it happens. What is basically what is wrong. And also then gear the stations. You can spare the station going to the stairs from the station and the station. From the station to the station. And that is how you get it. So, as usually, has 5 of the tiles going from Fleetwood, which is basic in the other tutorial sides. Moving on to the train station, passenger train station, going from Foreign to Fleetwood. So let's make it as well as we thought. So let's make it 9 or something. This is the tutorial of this episode, which relates to the following, as usual at this point. So go to the side and go to the side. So he's now accepting goods and or mail, which is not going to the side for. Anyways, I don't really think that I do not have much time for this one, so let's add another vehicle. Let's buy a new train. Cars let only, but not mail. I don't want mail for this, so it requires more money in the other side, which has useful thoughts right over here. It really continues to go from there to there, and usually goes into there. Oh yeah, this is the end of the year. What happens if we go through 2050 and goes to the other side? So move on to this. So move on to this train station, which adds a diesel trains, which is called SH125. It's refitable to all cargo types. Let's move on to this train. Uh, give me a second. It costs 637,000. I don't have much time. I don't have much money for to get you forgot. So any questions, likes, not all people getting through this one, and so let's refit this train. Going from there to there and to there. Should be at the middle, and the middle of the trains will get through in a knot. Let's make it 9. And the speed limit should be 100 because this is a tutorial of this train. Basic basic railroad layout. And it should be SBT. Oh yeah. So let's start. There are 2 of the following stations. Basically going from the side to side. And I'm going to transfer all of this rootless yeah. And that is all. Moving on to the airports might be on the next episode. Probably in this side going from St. Malnes City until Great Ren Bridge. This will take a while or something probably instead. So let's go to the center and stop. I'll see you in the next episode.